everyone. I am so excited for today's video because we are going to be trying out the REM Beauty Wicked collection. So now let's get into part 2, showing you guys all of these products. Alright, so first up we have the lip and cheek combo product. This one is called Destined to Fly. Now I'm a little nervous about this color because I don't know what this is going to look like. So this is what the product looks like. I do want to do a little test swatch on my hand first so I know what to expect as far as putting this on my face. So let's do a little test here. Oh, okay, it's definitely pigmented. It's definitely what you see is what you get. So I am glad that I did that first because I think this is definitely going to be a product that I would need to apply very lightly. But I also like that it is pretty full color because I feel like this would look beautiful on deeper skin tones especially. So let's see how it works for my very fair skin. So as always, I have my favorite Kabuki makeup brush. This is the Luxie 532 Round Top Blender. I feel like this is just the perfect one. So I'm actually going to just pick up a little bit of this onto my brush here, and we're going to start by applying this to the cheeks. I do want to not go overboard with this because it is such an intense, deeper pigmented color, but I think you can definitely see even with applying it so sheared out, there is definite color here. So far, I'm just going to keep working on blending and blending. All right, and so that is how it looks on my fair skin tone, applied super lightly. I really do like this color tone. It does give a really soft, purpley berry tone, but even with it sheared out onto my skin, I think it's absolutely wearable for lighter skin tones. I think it would look absolutely beautiful on medium and deep skin tones, and I really appreciate that this is a really pigmented type of product because this is proof that fair skin tones can wear it too if just applied correctly. That's one problem I have with super sheer products is that you can always apply something a little bit with a lighter hand as far as full pigmentation type of products, but you can really only build up a product so much. So I actually really love that this was a very conscious decision, I think, to include a deeper product to work for a variety of skin tones. Overall, I think this is a really pretty color. I am very curious to see what this looks like on the lips, but we will come back to it when we get to the lip portions. So next we're gonna move on to the eyes. All right, so I do want to dip back into the palette and use a few more colors from here. Now I do want to actually kind of let the next product we use really shine and be the star. So I'm just gonna use a few shadows from the palette here, but I do really love this palette so far from the multiple times I have used it, and it's really, really beautiful. So I do want to use this color right here. It is called Positively Green, and it is absolutely just a bright, intense, emerald matte green. So we're gonna let that kind of be the base for this look. Now I wanna just pick it up very, very lightly. I don't wanna get too over intense with this, but I'm gonna pick that up on my brush. And I'm gonna focus this mainly on the outer portion of my crease, and we're just gonna blend that a little bit inward, keeping most of the intensity on the outer half. Now, like I said, I am applying this very lightly, so don't let the lightness of this color deceive you. It is definitely a very intense, deep green, but applying it lightly like this can give us a little bit more of a sheer wash. Now, I do want to pick up just a little bit of that lightest matte color. That one is called Goodness Knows. We use that in the first tutorial, but I just want to take just a little bit of that just to kind of run on the outer portion of that green, just to soften the transition into my skin tone color. But I don't want to apply too much of this because since this does have a red base to it, it will neutralize that green, and I don't want it to go too gray. I just want to soften the transition. All right, and once again, dipping into the matte Positively Green color, we're gonna pick that up on a pencil brush, and I'm gonna run that on the lower portion of my lash line, just keeping that on the outer half and bringing that upward to connect that green. So next up, I really want to see what this product is going to do for me. So this one is called Magic Unleashed, and you guys, this looks like a beautiful emerald green shimmer kind of color. So I'm really intrigued to see what this is going to look like. Now I'm actually going to kind of give this a really good mix because that first one from the Glinda one, just honestly, it was a little bit oily and I didn't love that. So I still need to kind of play with that one some more to figure out what I think about it. Once again, I do want to do a really quick kind of test swatch on my hand just to kind of get a vibe for this product before I commit to my eyes. So let's do a little bit of a swatch. Okay, honestly, you guys, so far this is performing better than the Glinda one. So this is the shadow here. It definitely does not look as oily as the Glinda one. It's looking very opaque and very shimmery, so that's good news so far. Now I'm actually going to pick this up on a separate brush. I just prefer to do this with these types of products because I feel like it keeps the product applicator cleaner, which for me is just one of those little pet peeves that I have. So I'm gonna apply it with a flat shader brush, and I am going to apply this to the lid and just kind of apply it in a very thin patting motion, because I find that with these types of cream glitter shadows, that definitely gives it the best wear. If you apply it too thickly, it can kind of crease and crack, and I'm not about that. All right, so this is how it looks with the first coat applied. Some of the shimmer did kind of dull just a little bit with application, but I do want to give this layer a minute to dry, so we'll apply it to the other eye. I will say this is a very gorgeous color, and it complements that positively green color very, very well. So you can see how intense it is from that very first swipe, but once I pat it out a little bit, it does kind of dull it just a little bit. But I always find that for me, it's better to apply these in thin layers, letting each layer dry, and then we can kind of build up more of that color on the next layer. I really do love this shadow so far though. It has a green base with a little bit of like a yellowy green glitter to it, so it's definitely a really pretty color. Now I do have a product in mind that might be similar to this, so I will check that in just a minute and we'll do like a little comparison if it's as close as I think it is. So next up, we're going to apply that second layer. Again, I'm going to apply it the same way, but I don't have to do as much blending now because I've already got that base color on. So I think you can kind of see just how much more intense that looks now that we've already got that base layer blended out. Now a lot more of that shine is coming through because we don't have to blend it as much. Okay, so I do want to revisit one of the colors in this palette. So this one is called Shiz. It's this one right here. It's kind of like a light silvery mint kind of color. I think that this might be a really pretty inner corner color. I think that this will be good at lightening up this area and just bringing in a little bit more shine to the inner corner. I'll also bring that down a little bit on the lash line. This one right here is called Bewitched. This one is almost like a really deep olivey kind of shifty green with just a little bit of shimmer. I want to take just a tiny bit of this and kind of apply it towards the lower middle portion of my lash line and kind of blend it in between those two colors. This is actually kind of taking on a little bit more of like a goldenrod kind of color rather than a green like it looked in the pan. So it's definitely a little bit different than I anticipated. So I think I'll take just a dab of that matte positively green color and just kind of run over it just to give it a little bit more of a green kind of color. All right, so I think I will leave it there for the eyeshadow. Now I do want to try out the eyeliner as well. Now I think this is just a black, or maybe it's like a black green. Oh, actually it's like a very, very deep kind of like green black kind of color, like a very dark huntery green. It probably just looks like black on my hand, but there is just a little bit of that green color to it. And it is called Not Your Basic Witch. Oh, I just discovered something cool too. On the very end, if you take this off, there is a little sharpener on the end. I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool. Okay, now obviously my eyes are just a little irritated. That happens every time I apply eyeshadow now, so please excuse that. I will go ahead and apply this to the waterline though. So it's just a very dark, intense kind of green. I think I'm gonna actually do a little bit of this on the tight line as well. Okay, so I really like this eyeliner. I'm glad that they ended up going for like a really dark green rather than just like a black. I have a million black eyeliners, but I don't have many green ones, so I think this is really cool. So I am going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my eyes, give my eyes a minute to chill out, and we'll come back with the next product. Alright, so I finished off my look with the lashes, the eyeliner, and mascara. Now, I did try to give my eyes like 20 minutes to try to chill out a little bit, but this eye is still just a little bit irritated, so I'm sorry, I just don't have time to wait all day and wear contact lenses, so I can't even put like Visine in, and I don't want to mess with taking my contact lenses out, so I apologize for that, but there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. But really quickly, I wanted to compare a product that I thought was kind of similar to this one, but upon swatching it, they're actually not as similar as I thought they were, but I'll show you anyway. So of course we have the REM Beauty Wicked one, and I'm comparing it to the About Face Fractal Eye Paint in the color Augmented Reality. So upon swatching them, this is the REM Beauty one right here, and this is the About Face Augmented Reality. They're actually not quite as similar as I thought it was. This one I would say is probably about like 3 shades deeper than Augmented Reality. And I think that the glitter color in Augmented Reality is more of like a minty kind of shimmer, whereas the shimmer in the REM Beauty one is more of like a gold glitter. So not as similar as I thought, but if you have this product already and you just kind of wanted to see like a color comparison, I hope that helped. So now moving on to the lip products, we are going to go back to the lip and cheek product. We're going to see what this looks like all over my lips. I'm going to go ahead and just load up my lip brush and let's go ahead and apply. All right, so this is what the color looks like on me. Pretty much built up as far as I could get it. I think I can maybe get it just a little bit deeper, but you can of course always wear this a little bit more sheared out if you want more of like a light berry kind of tint to the lips. Typically would never go for this type of color on my lips, but there's something about this combination that I actually kind of like. It is a bit much, but I don't know, I don't hate it. Like if I'm really trying to go for a really bold plummy lip, this is definitely a really good option for that. But I really think this would be absolutely stunning on medium to deeper skin tones. I think that this would be a really awesome product for you. And even if you like these kind of dark plummy colors, no matter what skin tone you are, I think it's a really pretty flattering color for a lot of people if you're willing to go for a little bit more of like a bold look. I think for me personally though, I do prefer this as a cheek product, a little bit more sheared out, but once again, the formula actually really lends itself wonderfully for a lip or a cheek product. You guys know sometimes I feel like those duo products either work better for one or the other, not necessarily both. I really stand by that. I think the texture and formula of this really does work well for both scenarios. So overall, I actually kind of like this color, but we do have another product to try on, so I will be removing this one. And moving on to the final product we're going to be trying out is the lipstick from the ELPHABA set. And this one is called Black is This Year's Pink. And this one, you guys, I'm kind of intrigued. Now, if you guys remember, we just did a black lipstick review in the She Glam Crimson Butterfly collection. So I'm going to do a quick little swatch of this and see what color this is going to look like. Is it black? Is it like one of those tinted balms? I'm not sure. So let's just do a quick swatch together. Oh, okay. So this definitely is like a tinted lip balm kind of scenario. Definitely not a full black matte lipstick like the Crimson Butterfly one from She Glam. I wonder if it changes color or if it's just kind of like a gray kind of sheer wash. A little hard to tell. I feel like it is kind of turning just a little bit of like a purpley kind of color. I hope that is coming off and you can see that. I will definitely have to do some better swatches up close, but let's go ahead and apply this and see what it looks like on my lips. Now I did wipe off all of that lipstick and the little foundation that I had on as well. So we're just going on to my bare lips now. Let's see what this looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like on me. Now, I definitely think a lot of my natural lip color is coming through on this, but I definitely think it is giving just that little bit of like a mauve-y kind of tint to my lips. However, I would say this is actually very comfortable on the lips. I really like the formula of it. It is more of like a sheer balm kind of color, and it doesn't look as gray on the lips as I thought it was going to look based on the swatch. Overall, I do feel like it is pretty wearable though, so I'm actually glad it's not a black lipstick because I don't necessarily need more than one black lipstick, let alone one at all. But it is just a little bit hard to tell how much of this is like really my lip color and how much of it is the product color. But overall, I still think it's a really pretty combination, and I actually think I would use this product. It is a nice, like kind of more deeper kind of version of my lips, and I think it's quite nice. I do wonder what this would look like on a deeper skin tone though, especially if you do have deeper lip pigmentation to begin with. So honestly, I would just love to know if any of you guys have tried this and you do have a deeper skin tone. Definitely let us know in the comments below what you think of it, because I would absolutely love to know. All right guys, so those are all of the products from the ELPHABA set. So just a really quick little recap. What do I think of everything? So first off, for the cheek product, I was actually really surprised by that cheek color. I think it actually is quite wearable and usable for me. So I really like that applying it with a sheer kind of lighter touch really did give me a really pretty result. So I'm very happy with that. And of course, if you have deeper skin tone or you want a more bold kind of blush look, you can absolutely apply it at a full pigmentation strength and get a lot of color payoff. I also think it strangely kind of looked cute on its own on my lips as well, just depending on if I want to go for a bold lip or not. But I really appreciate the versatility of this product, and especially with it being very suitable across the board as far as skin tones go, just based on how you apply it. Next up, for the cream eyeshadow, I have to say so far I do really like this a lot, and I do like it more than the one from the Glinda set. I think that the pigmentation was here. The formula did not have that oily kind of feeling that the other one did. So like I said, I still need to play with that one a little bit more, but as far as this formula goes and the shade goes, I actually quite like it a lot. Gave a lot of really pretty shimmer, and like I said, if you apply it in thin layers, I think that you get the best result without it cracking or crumbling. So far, this is looking really, really pretty on my eyes, and I'm very happy with that. As far as the eyeliner goes, I really love that they chose to make this like a deep green kind of color, because number one, I don't have many colors like that in my collection, and I think it fit the look so well. It's so dark that from a distance, it almost does look black, but if you look up close, it is actually just a really deep huntery green, and I think it was a really unique choice, and I'm glad that they included that instead of a black eyeliner, just for the sake of like uniqueness. And finally, for the lipstick, I was actually very pleasantly surprised with this product. I think it looks really pretty on me. It does give this really nice kind of like just a little bit of like a deepened berry tone on my lips, but still really letting a lot of my natural lip color shine through. It's very comfortable on the lips. I also appreciate that they skipped on the glitter from this one. The lipstick from the Glinda set did have a little bit of like a glittery sheen to it, and when the lipstick wore away, it did leave a little bit of that like gold shimmery kind of look on the lips. So it's definitely a product I feel like I would want to keep reapplying throughout the day, because it did look a little funny with the shimmer left on my lips without the lipstick. So that's just a little update on that product as well. So just a really quick kind of overview between the two sets. If you are not interested in purchasing both, who do I think that these would best be suited for? Now, of course, at the end of the day, whatever color appeals to you more, if you're not getting both, definitely go for that. But I think overall, generally, that the pink set is kind of going to be a little bit more better suited towards like a light to medium skin tone, just based on the color selections. However, it could work for anyone. And I think for the ELPHABA set, I think generally this one does work a little bit better for a medium to deeper skin tone. Once again, however, I think it absolutely can be used by anyone, but I just think based off those color selections, I feel like that is how it leans. But once again, you can get both, you can get neither, you can get one or the other. There really is no wrong answer, and definitely just go for whatever appeals to you. I really think that anyone can use both of these sets, so there is no wrong answer. And finally, to wrap up my thoughts on the eyeshadow palette, now that I have used it a few more times now, I love this palette. I really, really do. My one complaint that I will say is that I really wish they would have scooted this up or scooted it over and did one more row of eyeshadows. I feel like it just needs it because of all of this wasted space on each side of the eyeshadows, and I totally feel like for the price of it, for $55, it would feel a little bit better had they included 4 more eyeshadows. I think they could have done a lot of really nice colors just to kind of deepen the palette and lighten the palette as well. However, as the palette as is, I do think it is a really beautiful color story and a really unique one, and I think that it really captures the characters and the story well. So I am still really loving this palette, and absolutely cannot wait to keep using it and try out some more of the looks on the little card here and just come up with my own looks as well. I think that these are so beautiful, so unique, so creative, so I do give points for this one. And I think if this is a palette that really appeals to you, I think you should go ahead and get it if you can, if you want to. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I'm really happy with the shadows and the shadow quality. So overall, I'm just very happy with this, and I am very glad that I purchased it, and I'm just absolutely looking forward to playing with it some more. All right, guys, so those are all of my thoughts on these products from REM Beauty. Once again, this was my very first foray into the REM Beauty makeup products, so it definitely was a really good range of products that I got to try out. And of course, with being such a huge Wicked fan, these are just absolute must-have items for me. Like I said, I did skip on several of the other items in the collection that I felt either weren't as unique or just ended up being something I felt like I could live without. Honestly, I do not regret anything that I purchased here. I do really love all of these products in some form or fashion, so there's really not a single product that I am unhappy with or displeased with. And overall, I think this was a really successful haul, and I'm just absolutely thrilled with all of my purchases. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.